Shalom, Jake. Shalom. All right. Now let's go and get into this. Elon Musk's grandfather belonged to a political party that believed the world should be governed by technology. Newspapers at the time described it as having the tone of an incipient fascist movement. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because a report came across my phone saying that now they're doing human trials, and I think that they already have some humans that are willing to go under this, right? Now, he's definitely one of the returning spirits. I don't think his grandfather, but he could be his great grandfather, because a lot of times you pick up stuff from your father, right? And we know that you return, right, and a lot of times you're third and fourth generation, right? Elon Musk's grandfather, Joshua Haldeman, was a radical conspiracy theorist. The Atlantic reports Haldeman was convicted in Canada for his involvement in the technocratic political movement. The movement believed an authoritarian group of tech savvy overlords could solve the world's problems. You see that? So yeah, let's get into this. I'll put the link to this descript in the description box just in case anyone want to deal with this. There's a lot in here. All right. But it's all they say. According to a deep dive from the Atlantic, the life of Haldeman, a Canadian chiropractor, was a radical conspiracy theorist who spent the beginning of his career as part of a group known as the Technocracy Incorporated. And what are these people pushing for now? They're pushing to set that up, right? Second Esdras 8, verse 27. Regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen, but the desire of those that kept thy testimonies and afflictions. Think not upon those that have walked vainly before thee, but remember them which according to thy will have known thy fear. Let it not be thy will to destroy them which have lived like beasts, but to look upon them that have clearly taught thy law. All right, now let's get into this. Barakatah Hawa, Barakatah Hawashah, Barakatah Hawa, Barakatah Hawashah, Barakatah Hawa, Barakatah Hawashah. Call her law, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. I believe those are the prophets. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwab that is teaching a likewise doctrine. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwab. Forgive me, Shalom. We gonna start that over. Forgive me for that, Jake. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwab. Shalom to those that teach the likewise doctrine and salutations. Shalom to the speckled bird, the confusion of face, and those around the four corners of the earth. May the Most High and the Son be with you. Forgive me, Jake. I just woke up, and I don't know about other Jakes, but I know with me, this is always on my mind, right? The ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is always on my mind, right? So yeah, it is now. They're doing the testing, right? And I used to, when I was younger, in my early 20s, I would sign up for these different programs when I didn't know the truth, where they would give you pills and different experiments, and they'd pay you about $4,000 or $5,000. You might be there for the weekend. I ain't signed up for nothing like this, of course, but you got to think they're paying these people like a quarter. I'm not sure, but they're paying these people probably like $250,000. You know, they're paying them a lot for this and covering their medical expenses, right? So yeah, everyone is talking about how amazing this is, but hey, this is a dark side to this, and I'm gonna show you. All right, we're gonna let this play right quick, and I'm gonna show you the dark side to this.
Each patient in the study group, which will likely be around 10 people at most, probably less, will have a flap of skin cut away from their skull by a human surgeon who will then use a cutting tool to remove a circular section of the skull just large enough to fit the Neuralink device. From there, the surgeon may or may not also remove the layer of soft tissue that separates the brain from the skull. This is known as the dura, and Neuralink has said in the past that early versions of their procedure have not been able to penetrate through the dura layer, and that necessitates the removal. But future updates to the procedure will allow the protective dura to stay in place, and the threads of the Neuralink device will penetrate through the layer as well. At this point, the Neuralink will use an advanced targeting computer to place a total of 64 electrode threads directly into the outer layer of the brain, penetrating only a couple of millimeters deep. This will be done with a level of precision that avoids any rupture of the blood vessels that flow through the brain tissue. Once the threads are inserted, the N1 device is placed inside the void of the skull, and the skin flap is replaced and sewn shut. The first of its kind surgical procedure will allow the N1 implant to be cosmetically invisible underneath the patient's skin while still being able to transmit and record brain signals wirelessly through Bluetooth connection to Neuralink's own smartphone app that will decode the movement intention from the cortex and translate it into computer input commands. The initial goal of the PRIME study is to grant people the ability to control a computer cursor and keyboard using their thoughts alone.
There you go, using that thoughts alone. Now, this video I'll put in the description box. So, yeah, there's a dark side to this, okay? Now, I'm going to show you. Because, see, these people, they don't believe in the Most High. They think they got all the answers. But the Most High is going to trip all these people up, okay? Now, look at this. Terrible things happen to monkeys after getting Neuralink implants according to veterinary records. This is horrifying. Now here's the different case studies of how these monkeys was being damaged, right? Now remember, I think they said it was over 1,200 monkeys, right? Somebody can put the exact number down in there. I'm not going to get it right this second, all right? Revelation 16, verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. And that's image deal with his ways of life, how he do things, all right? And it deal with his whole setup, right? Nobody's going to get down and get on their knees and pray to the image of Jesus Christ. That's not what it's talking about. The photo of Caesar Borgia, right? So yeah, let's keep going. Early this month, Musk claimed on X, formerly Twitter, that the monkeys who died during Neuralink trials were terminal cases close to death already. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter because this is the Most High stories. Those who take the MOTB, they're gonna be put to death. So it doesn't matter, making it clear that none of them perished as a result of the biotech company's brain implants. Documents viewed as part of a new investigation by Wired, however, as well as testimony from a former employee, contradict Musk's claims entirely. And the details are upsetting as they are damning, adding to a mounting case against the safety of Neuralink devices. So people are saying now, who used to work there, that he's lying, right? And you've seen what spurred his grandfather came in. Okay, they was techno-fascists, allegedly, right? And I'll put that link in the description box if I don't, remind me. And the time could be more exigent either, with Neuralink announcing on Wednesday that it's recruiting subjects for human trials. And they got BCIs out here now. You can order them online, but they're not going to have the power that Neuralink is going to have, because this is going to be directly linked to your brain stems. Now remember, there are a lot of different kinds coming down the pipe, okay? A lot of companies jumping into this, okay? So yeah, here's the reports, okay? Now I'm going to jump around a little bit, but they gave these monkeys numbers for their names, right? So it's like they just looked at them as cattle, the same way they're going to look at Jakes, right? Those who take this, you're going to be nothing but a number, a patented human, a a UPC code. Okay, you the people that take this is just gonna be a digital number. Okay. Here's the heroin casualty report per veterinary records obtained by wire from the California National Primate Research Center at UC Davis that cited a Neuralink primate research. Up to a dozen monkeys suffered grisly fates after receiving a Neuralink implant, according to brain swelling and partial paralysis. See, they were receiving grievous sores. But look at what the monkeys started doing to themselves. And we told you this place is going to become dystopian. These monkeys was literally trying to off themselves. Listen to this. Animal 20, December 2019. An internal part of the brain implant being inserted into the primate broke off during surgery. Later that night, the monkey scratched at the implant site, drawing blood, and yanked on the implant, partially dislodging it. Following follow-up surgery, discovered that the wound was infected. See? But that the placement of the implant prevented treatment. The monkey was euthanized the next month. So they let the monkey suffer, beat its head around, keep yanking on it, partially dislodged it, and they euthanized it a month later. They should have put it down immediately. Below, the female monkey designated Animal 15 began to press her head against the ground after receiving a brain implant, picked at the site until it bled, and eventually lost coordination, shivering when personnel entered the room. Scientists discovered she had brain bleeding, and in March 2019, she too was euthanized. The following year, primate called Animal 22 was put down in March 2020 after its brain implant became so loose that the screws attached it to the skull could easily be lifted out, according to a necropsy report. Damn, the monkey had loose screws on the skull. See? And a lot of these people, they're going to become loose screws after taking this man MOTB. They're going to literally become loose and lose their damn mind. All right? The failure of this implant could be considered purely mechanical and not exacerbated by infection in the necropsy states. Yeah, because a lot of these monkeys was getting infections, different illnesses. It's literally like they had grievous sores. But you got jakes out here that still can't see that this is the MOTB, right? So let me see, is there any more here? There's a few more in here. Now, all right, I don't see the other one, but they said I think it was 12 case studies. Now, this is public documentation. Okay, you can go to the California Board of Primates and get that information yourself. But yeah, see, this is what's going on. A lot of jigs, they're going to lose their lives signing up for this. All right. Isaiah 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Because you see this place is getting ready to enter into a nuclear apocalypse and World War III. I just outright tell my family now, we're going into World War III. Okay? I just outright tell them about the MOTB, and they get mad, but get mad. Doesn't matter. Thus says the Lord is what's important right now. Isaiah 30, verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Because we're going to have people that we know that's going to take this. They're going to be zonked and bugging out. They're going to be bleeding out of their heads. They're going to be getting grievous sores. They're going to be getting paralysis. They're going to be falling up and down the damn steps. Okay? Confused. Zonked out. Okay? The same way they was with the suicide sauce, right? So yeah, I'm going to show you one more clip of that video. I'll put both of the links in the description box. If I forget, remind me. Stay prayed up, Jake. We moving in interesting times. All right. Revelation 13, verse 16, and he caused of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads. Revelation 13, verse 7, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 You see, that's dealing with them barcodes, UPC codes, this man technocracy, okay? And it's interesting that Bus' grandfather was one of them people. Yeah, and it was actually a political party. So yeah, I see you again real soon, G. Stay prayed up. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Until the next time, Shalom.